Who the hell let this guy build a turbo kit? So we actually got some stuff on the Mustang done here. We got quite a bit of headway on it. Peekaboo. Obviously the last video you seen I got the front mount on. And I finished up the hot side today. I'll show you here. Show you my awesome artwork. So this is the header that I had originally on the car with this chunk already on it. So I welded onto that. Came under the oil pan here. And then I used one of these things. I call them over clamps. They work really good, honestly. Like, I've never had any problems with these leaking or anything like that. You can get them at AutoZone. They're like 10 bucks, and they pretty much slip over one pipe and then another pipe, and you can have a gap in the middle, and it'll seal it all together. And that's also a way that I can take all this apart, so I can take the manifolds off and all that kind of stuff. Here is the wastegate. I just kind of gobbered it on. This is a 44mm eBay guy. This is all 3-inch pipe that goes up to the turbo onto the T4 flange up there. And then obviously this pipe here I had to kind of finagle to get over here and then under the oil pan like the other pipe. And then this is the exhaust. All this is the exhaust off of the car originally. So I just kind of saved all of it to use the bends and all that to make it all work. And it had an H pipe on it. So I just took the... I pretty much just cut the H pipe in half and used it as a merge into here and then gobbed some 3-inch onto it. And there we are. Probably not the most ideal setup for back pressure and all that stuff, but like I said, I don't care. I like building shit and making shit out of nothing. This costed me literally like $12 to build, so I'm not too worried about it. There's this side's view. Just make sure you guys get a good look at that hot side. Look how pretty that is. But yeah, the turbo fits pretty good. I still got to bolt it down and everything like that. I just got the bolts hand tight in there for now. And we're going to be making a downpipe here to go out. I'm going to try to shoot it 90 degrees and then just shoot it like right out of this area here. Next, we're going to do the oil return line. The Hunter tuned way. Just put some grease on your drill bit. You put grease on the drill bit to have all the shavings will stick to the drill bit, and if you get like 2 little frickin' prickers in there, it doesn't matter, it's only aluminum. I skipped a step and I got my downpipe made here. This V-band flange is actually a 3-inch and this is 3.5-inch pipe. And I got one end butted up tight, and then the rest of it had a gap, and I just kind of pounded the pipe in as I welded it. And yeah, so I have a 3.5-inch downpipe now. Also, I got the oil feed line on. So as you can see here, there is a plate on the side of the oil pan right above the oil filter that you take off and you drill it to 1/8 inch pipe thread, and then you tap it. And then obviously you have I have a 1/8 inch to -4 fitting, and then that goes onto the -4 feed line, and then that goes up, comes out up here. And then I got the return line done here, or I should say the return fitting. I got that done. Pretty much just tap that to 5/8, I believe it is, or 1/2 inch NPT, and then thread your fitting in. I usually put RTV on the threads. I did that on the oil feed line too, on the fitting. Wherever there's pipe thread, I always put RTV on the threads. RTV seems to work better than thread tape. I wasn't lying when I said we were going to blast a hater pipe out of the fender. I still got to put the rest of the turbo on, the compressor housing and the oil housing, and then I got to put my oil lines on, and then intercooler piping, which won't be here for another 2 days, which sucks. So yeah, well, we'll see if we can get these oil lines on and see how it all looks when I'm finished. So we got everything kind of mocked up on the car for the most part, besides intercooler piping. The turbo's on. I just went through the hot side and fixed a couple pinholes in the exhaust. It had a couple pinhole exhaust leaks that I just fixed. So now it's running good. I'll show you the oil return line here. Just comes off the pan, loops over. Never do you want the oil return line going up, because if you're going up, it's not going to actually feed into the pan, and you could actually blow your turbo seals. So you want to make sure it's coming down, and gravity is feeding the oil down to the oil pan. I do have to make a brace now for the turbo, or at least put it on the hot side somewhere and attach it to the block somewhere, because the turbo, it's super solid, but it does move a little bit. So I'm going to try to just make a brace quick to go to the engine block. I'll fire it up quick for you. Another thing I didn't mention is I never use a gasket between the turbo and the manifold, or I should say like where the T4 flange is right here. I never use a gasket in between here. Main reason being is back in the day when I had Hondas like all the time, I'd buy manifolds and turbos and I'd put it all together with the gasket like you should. The steel gaskets too, not just the frickin' composite gaskets or the piece of shit gaskets. I've used good diesel trucking gaskets, like, yeah, they just, they always fucking blow out. I don't know if I just drive harder than everybody else. I beat the fuck out of my shit, and I don't know, I seem to always have a blowout on those gaskets. So I never run a gasket in between there, and I never have problems. It never leaks, and yeah, I never have an issue with that. So I recommend, if you guys have issues with blowing turbo gaskets out, just take the gasket right out, make sure the surfaces are flat, and just bolt it together, and you won't ever look back and you'll never have to replace another gasket. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully we'll have some more of the Mustang coming very soon. The intercooler piping should be here in a day or two, and that shouldn't take very long to put on, and we'll be out boosting with this thing. So pretty excited, got everything done, and yeah, stay tuned.